so we will start in English because that's more common language. And François, to begin with, I'm very happy that at least like that we can meet each other. And thanks, Sebastian, we already had a little introduction, but I would like to ask you how you would present your winery. Tell us about some words about what is Domaine Bassac.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. So I'm François Delhon from the Domaine Bassac. Domaine Bassac is a very old winery based in the south of France, in the Languedoc area. We're very close from Béziers. And my family has been producing wine for 9 generations. And I'm proud to say that now I'm the 2nd generation producing organic wine here. We are very family style business, even with the whole team. Now we are 15 people working here, and everyone is seems happy to be here. And yeah, we are producing a very, very wide range of wine because we have a lot of creativity and we are always creating new wines. In 2014, I decided to buy the winery out of my family with a friend of mine, Jean-Philippe Leca, and we split the work between us. He's more in charge of the everyday managing and the winemaking, and I'm more in charge of the sales, the marketing, and the communication. And together we decide the taste of the wines. So as you can see, every year in the Riegel catalog, there is new Bassac wines.
And we will talk about it.
So every year we are creating 2 to 3 new wines.
Okay, fantastic. I think like we will talk for sure today about the new wines, but I would like to ask you like how did you came to organic wines production? Like it was your father, I suppose, who started all that. Why was it? How did it started?
So it is not my fault that we're producing organic wine. It's my dad and his brothers. So a bit more than 30 years ago, they were very worried about the pollution in the rivers going around the vineyards. So they have been looking for a new way of producing wine, a different way. And at that time, organic was not very, very common in France, and especially in my area, where there is very big wine factories using a lot of chemicals. So thanks to Riegel, actually Peter Riegel, my dad was talking with him, and Peter Riegel said, the future is organic. You should pay attention to that. So after trips to Germany, he learned about that and started producing organic. We started the change in 1987. So it's been more than 30 years now that we are certified.
But you were in those times the pioneers, so to say, in the region.
Yes, even in France, we were one of the pioneers. Some others are, Rémi Souillet. Some others, like most of the pioneers are distributed in Germany by Peter Riegel. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's a big family.
But how was it in those times? How did people react on the wines organic? Like, do you made a promotion? Did you had to explain something to people?
At first, we were kind of shy to say it because it was everyone around us, all the other producers were scared about us. They thought we were going to make their vineyard sick because we are not using chemicals. We were not protecting our vineyard the same way they used to do it. So they were very scared of us, and it's funny, and I'm very proud because nowadays those same people are coming to us and asking us how to become organic. Wow. Because they see that it works, and you can, of course, you produce on a different way, but it works at the end.
What are the special methods? Like what are you doing? What are you not doing?
Well, first of all, we are not allowed to use synthetic, to make it simple, synthetic chemicals. So chemicals made in labs. Mainly, we are only allowed to use copper and sulfur in the vineyard to fight some fungus. But I would say thinking organic is really trying to understand more how the nature works and create kind of a natural balance in your field. Because the problem is, in my area especially, our grandfathers were destroying forests and woods just to make big fields, and by destroying that we kill the balance between the little bugs and the birds and the plants. So now we are trying to come back to that. So at Bassac we are trying to go even further than biology, by trying to reintroduce the nature and the normal circle of life, I would say.
Okay.
So, well, that's one of the reasons that since last year we have been putting a lot of effort into all those little animals and bugs that lives around the plant.
So you mean like the insects?
The insects, yeah. So we have been doing a lot of research on the bats, for example, and on the bees.
Yeah.
So that's the next topic. But yeah, we've been one of our main problem here in the vineyard is a little butterfly that makes eggs into the grapes. It's called the ver de la grappe in French. And we found out that the bats, they really love those butterflies. Wow. And because we've been destroying in the past 100 years ago a lot of forest, we have less houses for the bats. So we are trying to reintroduce, we are trying to build bat houses to reintroduce the bats in the field, for example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so instead of fighting those butterfly with chemicals, we are studying how to fight them with other animals.
Okay, interesting. But
I can show you bat house.
That's cool. That's nice.
So here, it's a program that we have with the region here. So the bats, they used to live in some trees, in some old houses that we used to have around the fields, or in the cities, even in the cities. But now, because we are using very energy-proof houses, they have no more space to sleep in the houses. And because the cities are using LED lights now to light up the streets, those lights make cold light and they don't attract anymore the butterflies. So the bats, they don't have anything to eat in the cities anymore. Whoa. So the population of bats is decreasing very fast. Whoa. So we are trying to reintroduce them by making those little houses. They can climb under here. And in a small box like this, we can have up to 30 to 50 bats living in it.
Just in this small box?
Yeah, in this small box, because there are those midget bats that we have here. So that's one of the programs we are developing right now.
Oh, interesting. But does it help anyhow to the winemaking? Like, what is it because for environment that you're creating on the vineyards, or?
It doesn't help like directly into the winemaking, but it helps in the vine growing. Because this Edemis, this butterfly, is really like getting out of control right now. So one of the solutions is spraying a chemical or finding other solutions. And we decided to find other solutions.
Yeah, like that, everything is balanced. That's a nice solution.
So our second project is the bees. It's a very common topic right now. We have been working a lot with beekeepers around the fields. And they told us that the National Association of Beekeepers in France, Germany, and Italy, they created together a new logo called Bee Friendly with a certification. So we have been studying this certification, and we decided in 2019 to move the whole winery into this certification. So since the vintage 2019, we are certified Bee Friendly, which means that we are respecting these new rules into the vine growing. The main changes we had is how we manage the flowers. First of all, in the fields, we try to always keep flowers So
like
the bees,
between the
in the rows.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the bees, they have food to make honey. And also we stopped completely even some molecules that were allowed into organic that are quite bad for the bees. And we only spray the copper and the sulfur at night now. We stop spraying during the day. We do it when the bees are sleeping.
Okay, I think like we at Riga, we were very happy when you introduced us the project. I think we were first time talking about that last year offline at Biofach. And like in general, there are really a lot of projects considering this theme and about saving the bees. And we were super glad that finally we have also the project that is thinking about that, and we have it behind us.
Yes. We created a wine to explain it. It's called Bassac. The name was simple to find, and the idea was to have the people go and look a bit deeper and further into what's this regulation, because it's always very easy to say to the consumer and to the client that we do something, but with this bee-friendly certification, there is a proof that we are doing it. It's always the same. When I say something, you can believe me or not, but when there is a certification, you have to believe me. I respect it.
That's true. That's true. And I
So
think
we have created a line of 3 wines, red, white, and rosé. And right now, you already have the red, and the rosé is coming soon.
I hope very soon.
Yes, in a couple of weeks.
Hopefully.
So those wine are blends from very specific vineyards. And we have tried to use very typical grapes from the Languedoc in these blends.
What are they?
So in the red, we've been using Grenache, Carignan, and Marcelin. Marcelin, it's not very known, but I like it a lot. The color is very nice of the wine. And the Marcelin is a grape that is being created here around in Marseillan. And it's a mix between Grenache and Cabernet Sauvignon. And the rosé is made of Cinsault and Grenache.
You said that you made it from the special vineyards. Like they are special because they are like made for this project in particular, or
So for this project, we certified the whole winery, but there is those specific vineyards that are much easier for us to do some tests and studies on animals, because they have more woods around, because they have some forest around, because they have a field with flowers, because also that's one of the things we are doing studies. The goal is maybe one day make honey at Bassac.
All right.
So we had to find places to put, how do you call it, beehives. So we have this specific vineyard with a big field that we don't work anymore there. We just leave the nature do what they do. Sometimes we had some flowers, and that's it. And there is a river around, so the bees can go and drink also.
And so you started last year, if I understood right?
Yes.
You couldn't have a possibility still to examine is the population grew up or
not yet. It's just the beginning of the project. It's also not super easy to find beekeepers around here, because with the climate change, it's becoming more and more dry every year, and they keep the bees a bit higher. So to have beekeepers more motivated to bring back beehives here, we had to create the place. So it takes time. In agriculture, everything takes time. So we're starting the 2nd year, and already we have one beekeeper, a young person in the town that would like to put some beehives in our field, because the bees, they need a kind of a big surface, a big place, a big area without chemicals, because they fly all around. So if you're the only one organic in the middle and then you only have all the producers around, it's not easy. So we found a specific place for that.
I think like I'm very in love with the project, because like a year ago I heard this statement that actually if the bees will die, it will take for humanity only half a year to survive, because without a bee, like
yeah, and it was even more interesting for us, because if we act as winemaker, if we act super selfish, we don't need the bees to make grapes. The vine plant create create fruit without the bees, without pollination.
Mm-hmm.
But it was even more interesting to pay attention to an animal that we don't need directly in our production. Of course, we need it to live and to eat every day, but we don't need it to make wine. So it was even more interesting for us to look and to dig into a new topic around our agriculture.
So maybe it looks like nowadays the future in general of winemaking is not only concentrating on the production of the grape, but also in creating the special universe, and so to say, coming back to the roots. Or
yeah, one of the problem today, in my opinion, one of the problem of the European regulation about organic is that to be certified organic, they just control your product and your production. There is not yet a little portion of the certification that checks your environment and what you're doing around the wine. To be organic today, you just need to make organic grapes and to transform them organic. But they don't care if around your field you don't do anything for biodiversity. And I think that's the next topic, is biodiversity and the link between everything, and not just producing your own wine and your own grapes and that's it.
So you mean it's like more like the lifestyle rather than like the wish of making certification?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's everything around around your lifestyle, the way you produce, the research you do to create the least pollution possible and to improve your environment and to give away to your children something better than you got it. And that's what should be the next evolution of the regulation.
Yeah, that's true. But like you experienced already in general, like the development of the winemaking, and I'm sure that you tasted different wines, and you tasted for sure the wines that are just started to be organic, and those wines that are already for ages organic. Is there any difference? Because like there was a stereotype.
Yeah. In my opinion, now there is more and more good wines, and it's getting harder and harder to find a bad wine. So that's a good evolution in the winemaking in general, and everyone is becoming more professional in the winemaking. But still, in the wine, you still have the winemaking that is very important. So every producer has his own way to make wine and his own taste at the end in the bottle. So yeah, there's new waves coming also of some interesting wine, but there's so many things to taste that it's really hard for me to make a summary of it.
But at this point, I would like to maybe precise everything on the projects that we have and on the wines that we already have in the range. For example, we've got also Bassac last year and this year, and we started also with Nos Parcelles.
Yes. So Nos Parcelles in French, or it means our plot. It's so I took over with my business partner the winery 6 years ago. It took time to bring some changes, some small changes to the winemaking. But after 6 years, we know more and more our fields, we know more and more our juices, we know more and more everything. So we selected some very, very good plots that every year they make amazing wine. And instead of blending them into the whole range, we decided to create some special bottle coming from some specific vineyard. So the project Nos Parcelles, it's about 4 wines in total, 3 red and 1 white. And every time we use 1 grape and we name the vineyard where it comes from. So when you come and visit, we can really explain you why we selected this vineyard, where is it, and what kind of grape we produce there. So you have the Cabernet Franc. It's very old vineyards from 2 vineyards. It's not common to see Cabernet Franc in my area by itself. And the new wine coming at the end of the year is the Marcelin. It's almost the same one we use in the Bassac, but some specific rows that we put in oak barrel for 12 months, and then that we bottle. So it's a very limited amount of bottle. We produce around 1,500 bottles because we can't produce more at the moment. So yeah, I'm very happy about this range.
Do you have any other wines that we have in the range that are important for you, like that you especially like, maybe Mampo, or because
yes, right here. Oh. Special wines. Oh, they all have an history to me. So the Mampo range, we have the white and the rosé and the red. They are important to me because they are named after my great-great-grandfather, which had very big mustache. So it was Le Mampo. He's the one that created the winery we're working in right now. And those are very like a fast-growing wine in my range, because I think we found the perfect balance between complexity and freshness. It doesn't matter if it's the white or the red. And also people really enjoy the big bottles.
the Magnum. Yeah,
So,
cool.
yeah.
And I think you've got the medal. Exactly.
Yeah, we this year at Biofach at the Mondus Vini competition, we got 2 gold medals. I remember the second wine also. We have got a gold medal, I think this one, no?
Yeah.
This one, this is a blend of Syrah and Marcelin. And this wine changes every year. So it's called 17 because it's 2017. Next year will be 18 because of 2018. And when we taste the wine after the winemaking, after the harvest, what's the best? We put it in this bottle. It doesn't matter if there is 1,000 bottles, 3,000 bottles, it has to be the best.
Wow, crème de la crème.
Exactly. And every year it's a new surprise of the blend. You never know what it's going to be. I don't know what's going to be next year. So so that got a gold medal at the Mondus Vini competition. And another surprise was the Muscat.
Also have in the range.
Yes. Muscat is always a very surprising wine. It's really not easy to sell. But when people taste it, they love it. It's because the way we make this Muscat, it's not a Muscat where we add alcohol or sugar to stop the fermentation. We just cool the wine very fast, very low, and we filter the yeast. So we keep a low alcohol. It's about 11% alcohol. Level of sugar is quite low also for Muscat. It's around 50 grams of sugar. And we keep all the aromas, all the flavors. So it's like grape juice with a little bit of alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah, you drink it a bit cold, and it's you have to be careful because the bottle is too small.
Yeah. All right. I would suggest that we can check if anyone has questions from people that are also listening to us or watching us. Gibt es irgendwelche Fragen? Ich glaube, es gibt irgendjemand, wer verkostet den Wein sogar jetzt. Or maybe everyone is shy.
Sorry, I don't speak German, so.
I just was asking the same in German if anyone has questions. And I see in our chat, I think there's nothing. So let's have a check. All right. I would, like last year we started the year so nice in Nuremberg. It was so good. At first in France, in Montpellier, and then it was Biofach, and then came everything, the apogee of the year. How was it? How was last year for you? How was it in France? How was it for winemaking?
Well, as everyone, I think at first everyone got very scared, and no one knew what was going to happen to the world. So we had to have meetings every day with the team here to make sure everyone was doing well, all the employees, all the team, and we managed to go through this crisis quite good. Beside me, no one got sick. I'm the only one that got the COVID.
I remember the story.
I'm the only one that got the COVID. I didn't get a very strong version of it, but I lost the taste and the smell for almost 3 months. And still today, I don't feel like I'm 100% back to what it was. But business-wise, I mean, it was good. if I look myself selfish, my team was good. Everyone wanted to work. No one stayed at home. Everyone was very happy to come to the company. And we sold a lot of wine. Because I guess people stayed at home, started cooking more, and was paying more attention to what they were eating and drinking. And because our wine are in a lot of the big chain of organic shop in Europe,
In Germany.
and in Germany, of course, people has been drinking a lot of Bassac wine. It's still not easy because we don't know where we're going, and every day we hear new things on TV, so we just wait and see. It's what I'm missing the most is traveling, meeting the people, and going out for dinner with friends.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that we are all missing, and I hope that one day we will come back to traveling and we will be able also to visit your winery and to see the parcels and to see the results also of Bassac. And I also wanted to ask you, what are your plans for 2000, like for this year? Are there any new projects coming? Any new ideas?
So we have again some new wines coming. We have a No Parcelle Carignan, for example. I have some project in other country than Germany, especially Netherlands, and we have to rebuild a new winery. So maybe by the end of the year, we will start working with the architect on a new building.
Wow.
Because we should move. My winery today is in the center of a very old town, so it's very nice when you see, but it's not very practical for work. So
in honor of that, the La Circulade is made.
yes, yeah, my town is a town built in circle. It's a town built in the year 1000, so very old town, and all in circle. So and that's called the Circulade. That's why we named the cepage range after that. And we would like to move out of the town and to be in the middle of the vineyards. So that's the main project. And yeah, and make sure everything is fine and be ready for the after COVID crisis.
Yeah, that's true. But I hope that, like, we already survived the hardest, probably, hopefully.
Our another big project that we started and that we are launching this year, we started making a non-sulfite wine. So we did research in winemaking to do some wine without adding any sulfites. And we are also developing and extending in other wine areas. Today, our vineyards are only based in the IGP Côte de Tongue. And we're going to expand to AOP Fougères this year.
Oh, all right. So we're waiting for...
Yes, sample are getting ready. Olga.
I will always like, you're the historical winemaker for us, so we're always glad to hear something new from you.
I remember coming when I was a child to Peter Riegel's house when the company was still in his garage.
Wow.
So,
It was in Constance still, or no, it was already somewhere.
It was in Orsingen in his house,
Already,
and just above his house. And I remember playing soccer with Felix, Florian, and everyone.
That's fantastic. You know,
And Matteo Ponfasoli and everyone, and all the producers also. So from when I was a child. So.
We've just got the compliment. One of our viewers just wrote that is in love with Bassac Rouge.
Super.
Like,
nice.
A lot of compliments.
Thank you.
Also, the whole team of Peter Riegel. I would say we will slowly go
Okay.
to the end if there are no questions anymore. Okay.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you. I hope that we meet one day offline.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, hello, Charles.
Thank you, everyone, and still have a nice fair and a successful fair. And thank you, François, for this amazing time. And you talked a lot, and it was, I think, with the beds, a small hotel for so many beds. It's incredible. It's like in Japan, huh? Have a nice day, and thank you very much for being with us. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.